Welcome to All Things YouTube.
Hello Internet, I'm Matt Haas, and in this video I'm going to give you suggestions that will make your video better, instantly better. And this is better in a measurable way that YouTube can detect. YouTube is looking for signals that your video is superior. One of those signals is if your audience, on average, watches it the whole way through, or a large percentage of your video. Videos that on average get watched 40% of the way through will do poorly compared to your videos where on average 75% gets viewed. Another signal is engagement on your video, the way people comment on it or hit the like button or share it or do other things. So all of these tips drive that. This is a long video. I'm going to talk fast. Everything I say is equally important, even though I might just mention it really quick. Okay. The first concept is start late, get out early. That essentially means, well, let's use an example. Say you're building something and you're talking about one step of the process and you want to put that build process step in your video. You wouldn't, for example, say, here's what I'm going to do, and then show yourself doing it, and then once you're done doing it, say, this is what I've done. Too long. A better concept would be show yourself doing it and use voiceover to explain what's happening in the moment. So that's a good way to construct content. And that can be applied to all different types of videos. But also, it sort of goes along the same lines of cut out all of the unnecessary stuff. When I edit videos, it's a process of reducing the length of the video, cutting out everything that isn't necessary. That benefits you because you'll be constantly giving value and you won't force your audience to sit through stuff that they don't need to sit through. Yes, it will make your videos shorter and you'll get less watch time overall, but the value is what's important. Videos should be any length as long as the length is appropriate for the content and you're getting right to the point and you're not putting in extra stuff. So cut out all of the extra stuff if possible. Another good tip is to don't put any language in your video that signifies the video is over. The best thing you can do is unexpectedly end your video. Well, not unexpectedly, but suddenly end your video. In other words, give content all the way to the end. I'm not doing that in this video, in this series, because it's a course and the end screen is sort of a different type of concept. But the best type of video is you're delivering value, maybe even the end card stuff comes up and you're still delivering value, and then it just ends. That way they can't click off early. You're trying to get people to watch the whole way through. So don't put 20 seconds at the end of a black screen with music and just, there's no value. You have to have value the whole way through. So no ending talk. Don't say things like, well, thanks for watching, and that's how you do it. None of those phrases that mean the reason that they came to your video is now over, because they won't watch what's left in the video, and then you'll miss out on that watch time. You should prompt your audience to take action. Things like, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. That's a good thing to do. Commenting is great. Commenting is another action that YouTube will see to signal that your video is superior. Now, it's good to ask the audience to comment, and some people want to comment, they just might not know what to comment. So if you could prompt them and give them some directions, for example, did this ever happen to you? Let me know. Or you could say, are you new to this channel? Say hi in the comments. I'd like to meet you. Something like that. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Let me know if you agree. Like, these are all things people can answer, and they don't have to come up with the comment themselves. They won't. So that could be helpful. Get them to do that. When people share your content, that is a huge signal to YouTube, especially if you've shared it on another social media application that's open to the public, that Google's web crawlers, that's a term for how they catalog the internet. Anyway, if someone comes from off platform, like Twitter, for example, if someone comes from Twitter to YouTube to watch your video, that's called a session start. And the more session starts you can get, the better YouTube will think that video is, because it got people to start watching videos on YouTube when they weren't on YouTube. Compelling your audience to share the video is a wonderful thing. And it's very powerful. These are all signals to YouTube. YouTube is just a collection of Python scripts. It's just looking for all this behavior. Get all of this behavior happening and make it easier for it to happen, and you'll do really well. Now, the videos itself, let's take a look at a few things. If it makes sense to put overlays or red circles or arrows or something on your video to make it better and more engaging and easier to follow, do it. It's a simple thing to do in most video editing applications, and it just helps. And anything on screen that's different is helpful. For example, there's a carousel back here, and that changes every so often. Every time that flips, it's an unconscious signal to your brain, to the viewer's brain, that, oh, something changed, I better watch a little bit longer. It's a psychological thing. It's a proven scientific fact. If you can put even like weird things on screen, like, oh, this is my next segment. Just the fact that that entered the screen increases the chances that they'll hang on for a little bit longer. Just a couple seconds, 10 seconds is, and then the science says, well, then they'll, that won't be effective anymore. But try and do that. And it doesn't have to be something on screen. You could just push in a little bit like this, or this, or this. Many people use a technique where they'll cut out long pauses in a sentence and it'll just jump, 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 jump. Each one of those little jumps, as subtle as it is, will get people watching just a little bit longer. But again, you don't want people watching a little bit longer if the content's boring. You want to obviously give valuable content the entire way. And this is stuff anyone can do. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need that. And each one of these tips is fantastic. Definitely use them. Now I'm going to do something I said that you shouldn't do and talk about ending language. So you can click off here and not watch the rest of it. But if you hung around, do drop a like, and maybe I'll see you on the free Facebook group. And the next video in this course is always the one on top. Make awesome videos. Thanks, Internet.